Hello, and welcome back to your new favorite podcast, the Becoming Relentless podcast. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe, and I am joined by the lovely
Danielle Kusenberger, Team Haley coach as well.
And Cecily Wesh, Team Haley coach.
And today we are stoked to talk to you guys about something very, very important, Peri-Workout Nutrition. Why do we talk about this so much? Because literally training is everything with bodybuilding. Yep. You should be fueling yourself for performance in the gym. And so we're going to talk about the best ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's what you eat before, during, and after your training is going to affect your progress a ton.
It's going to affect how you feel, how you can perform, how you recover. It's literally
everything.
Yeah.
I think it's a really popular topic right now because literally if you are in the sport of bodybuilding, your peri-workout nutrition is critical. There's the rest of your day, it's whatever.
Yeah,
honestly,
hit your food.
Exactly. You're just eating.
Yeah.
But around your workout, that is where the nutrition is going to have the biggest impact and where you can drive the most change and make the most progress.
Yeah. So what do you guys generally recommend for like pre-workout nutrition?
As far as meals go, my favorite meals. Well, my favorite carb sources, personally, I train in the morning. So like I'm not, personally, I don't like to have rice before I train because of the way it feels on my stomach. I like it after I train, but I like something like fruit on rice cakes with almond butter, bowl of Gains, which is really good.
Y'all need some.
Yeah, cream of rice basically, but just 10 times better with more flavor. I love having like English muffins with I'm anything like kind of sweet, so peanut butter and jam. But something that's simple and easy on the digestive tract, protein shake, yogurt, my go-tos.
Yeah, I would agree. I think so pre-training, just emphasizing carbs and protein. And I know I go back and forth on this because I don't actually believe that moderate fats are going to impact you. It just depends when you're eating the meal. So like we work out in the morning. I would not eat a lot. I would not have like more than, 15 grams of fat in that meal just because you don't need it. It's not necessary. You can save the fats for later in the day to keep you satiated.
Yeah.
But if, let's say, I have athletes who work out first thing in the morning, for them, I recommend fast digesting carbs, usually liquid. If they can't stomach solid food, then it's drink your carbs and your protein and just get something in so that you can fuel that workout. Because the absolute last thing that you want to be doing is training fasted. Never, ever, ever train fasted.
Work.
And not in bodybuilding.
Yeah, you're going to pass out.
Seriously.
Yeah. So I think that like the key points is like something that digests easily for you, moderate fats. I think that also you can take into account what you're training in the day and adjust from there and how long your training session is going to take. Because personally for me, some of my leg days take me like 2+ hours. So generally if that's the case for me, I like to add some additional fats to my meal to kind of help slow the digestion and kind of help keep me in a better place throughout my training session. So you
can make it through your workout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's those are
I've just
key
heard
points.
people slam that like you should not have fats around training. And I could see that from like a physiological standpoint, just the way nutrition works. But I also don't think that it hurts anything to have some fats around your workout.
It depends on how close you're training to.
Yeah,
you have
meal
that
timing.
And like I do feel better with fat. My first meal of the day will always have at least like 10 grams of fat in it. Personally, usually around 15, even when I'm training, just because I feel better when my first meal has a good amount of fat in it. I've noticed that. Yeah.
I agree with that. I think it's individual. So I think it's kind of silly when I see people saying like, don't put fats around your workout, like as an absolute.
If it's like 30 grams, well, for female, then we're talking females right now. But if it's like 30 grams and like you're at 40 for the day, like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think to put it into like percentages, like basically you want like 30% of your daily carbs, like pre-train, 20 to 30%, I would say.
Of carbs,
like pre-training.
I do 50. Wait.
I do
30% protein, 25 to 30% protein, and then I do 50 to 70% carb.
But that's like pre-intra and post,
pre-intra
right?
and
Yeah,
post.
that's all of
Yeah,
them.
I'm talking about just pre.
Just pre-training?
Yeah.
I think that's a good number, like 20 to 30% carbs.
Yeah.
Pre-training,
Yeah.
and then your intra. I always say at least 25 grams. I don't see why you would want to drop below that.
Yeah.
I
Unless you're
could
in prep
see
and that's
men
what you
wanting
get.
to go like above that. Like for my male clients, I'm okay with 40, 50 grams of carbs, especially for the harder, like you're saying, like your leg days. Like you need that fuel. You need that to push your performance. But otherwise, around your workout, 70% of your daily total carbohydrates.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I feel better with that. And then as far as your intra, like if you take intra, like Gatorade juices, don't eat during your training sessions. I used to have some athletes that would sneak some Pop-Tarts. No, we do
you know
not
who
do that.
you are.
To listen to this. So Gatorade, apple juice, those are my go-tos.
Dude, I have a confession. I used to be one of those
Me
people.
too.
Dude, I used to do it too. Gummy
Rice
snacks.
Krispie treats.
Yes.
All day.
Yeah.
I was like, I get candy.
Literally candy or like cereal, like Lucky Charms.
Bro.
It was like my one sweet treat of the day that was like where I had like my little kind of like treat.
Yeah.
But instead, like have the cereal before you train. Personally, before I would have cereal, like that's a really good pre-workout. If you're training really close to your session, that's when you can eat some cereal and it's going to be utilized the best. But I would say, and then to work out like your juice, put in some creatine and some pink salt.
Yeah. You want it to be a liquid because you're during training, digestion is not prioritized
at all
whatsoever. Yeah. So you don't need to add stress. You don't want to feel bloated during your training session. If you want to feel good, then drink a liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it tastes good too. It's refreshing. Like you get out of a set, you're not like, give me the candy. You're like, give me some water.
Yeah. And I think the reason why people want to eat during their training sessions, I think, is because they have an emotional tie to food and they don't want to drink their calories.
Exactly. I agree.
That to me is a red flag.
And I get it if it sucks and you're on like minimal carbs and like you're like, well, I don't want to give 20 grams of my carbs to intra. Well, your training is going to be benefited from it. So just suck it up. It's not forever. It's
It's literally part of the sport. That's where you need to pack your emotions away and just realize I am training for a specific purpose and the intra carbs are going to fuel that purpose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So even though I want to eat, like that's just emotional. You have to think about what is your ultimate goal. Do you want to be the best in the sport? Then drink.
Yeah. Now, question, do you guys, for the intra workout, do you like to sip during? Do you like to drink it before? Like, do you have like a certain tactic that you like to give to your athletes or...
Good question.
What's your opinion there?
That is a great question. Yeah. Personally, I recommend that you drink your intra when you're warming up or if you have a short drive to the gym, start sipping on it, warm up, and then by the time you're halfway through your exercises, your intra should be done because you need those carbs pretty immediately. Like you're trying to utilize them in the workout, right? So if you're sipping slowly on the intra and you still have intra left at the end of your workout or going into your last exercise,
it's not going to be utilized the way it needs to be.
Right. Yep. It's not being utilized. Yeah, exactly. So I ask that my athletes like try and finish their intra by halfway.
Yeah. I do. I'm the same way. Same thing.
Yeah. I would agree. I think that I've also experienced some athletes that just drinking Gatorade or like any kind of liquid that isn't water during their training sessions can make them feel nauseous. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have run into this. So for people like that, I generally tell them to like drink it like 10 to 15 minutes beforehand or just add it to like their pre-training meal if they're going to eat it like pretty closely. That's kind of my workaround for that because I've ran into quite a few athletes that cannot stomach any kind of intra-carb during their training, even if it's a liquid.
I will say I have a lot of people, and I feel this way too. The Gatorade powder Gatorade causes more people say they're nauseous from that than the actual Gatorade drink. Interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But and I used to feel that way too.
Maybe there's more artificials in it.
Yeah. I think the carbs are different actually. So you have to put in more powder for the same amount of carbs, which would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah. That is super interesting. I've never tried the powder.
I may be wrong on the carbs and powder, but
yeah, I think that's a great point. If you're feeling nauseous, then you want to stack it beforehand. Yeah, for sure. And then with post-workout, so when you're done training, I think a lot of people still get confused about the anabolic window. Like, do you need to eat right away? Do I need to slam a protein
bro
shake?
science.
Yeah, like
It's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose all my gains.
Exactly.
I used to be like that. I literally kept a protein shake in my car for me to chug afterwards.
So many people do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that got so popular. I'm sure maybe there was
There's some study or something
that said like, oh, you need to.
Or some like influencer that was like, you got to do this, man.
And he was selling a product. It was his product. And
part of marketing. And it just becomes like way too.
Yeah. And now we're doing a podcast on it.
Yeah.
But I will say, dude, if you're 10 minutes after your training session, your body's still trying to reduce its stress and cortisol. So I would personally not have my athletes like drink anything. I wait for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wait an hour before I eat anything. 45 minutes, depending on what you're training. Like if you trained chest versus legs, like vastly different. But give it some time. Like you'll feel when you're relaxed or if your body's still recovering. And so it'll let you know like when it's ready to eat.
Yeah, I think you can absolutely feel that. Like, so when you're driving home from the gym, like for me, I still feel amped.
Yeah.
And it's not until, like you said, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour later that my heart rate is down, my breathing has slowed, like I don't feel
stressed.
Still stressed. Yeah, exactly. So I like to wait to eat my post-workout, and I think that that's a pretty good recommendation that we can make. Don't eat right after your training session. Like you're likely not even hungry. If you went super hard, like the intensity, you're probably
still like in a stress state and your hunger levels haven't returned to normal.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would say like anywhere. Do you have like a cutoff? I feel like 2 hours is probably like the longest I would say like to wait.
Yeah. Like I would say I'd like for the person to be done eating with their meal at least by 2 hours.
Yeah.
So like 1 hour and 30 minutes, like start the eating process at the latest.
Yeah.
And some things you could do to maybe speed that process along. I take Revive Calm. I'll take 6 caps post-training and just taking really deep belly breaths, like to almost bring that stress state down, get your system into a more relaxed place.
Yeah.
I would say like turn off the heavy jammed like music.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
like,
thinking.
Maybe a post-workout like playlist that's more calm or something. Like don't like play like upbeat songs because then you're probably just not going to help the situation.
Play something that's going to soothe you.
Yeah. Personally, usually what I do is I listen to nothing. I'm so dead that I don't even turn on the music. And Seth is like, "Can you turn on some jams?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I don't like silence.
And I'm like, over here, my thoughts. I'm in my thoughts. That's
like I don't want to hear my brain right now.
I'm like assessing everything. Yeah.
That's how I am.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it. Soothing jams turn off my brain. Help me decompress.
Every once in a while, I could get away with like a podcast, but nothing like too heavy.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think as far as Peri-Workout Nutrition, we kind of hit all the major points, just making sure you're setting yourself up for success and the best kind of performance in the gym. Like as a bodybuilder, what you do in the gym is critical. So you want to fuel yourself for that. You want to take our tips and implement it with your nutrition.
Yeah. You're going to feel way better with these tips.
Yep. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via DM. We're always happy to help you out with that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.
Bye. I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up Instagram or in the podcast under. If the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews. Let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.